been a lot of that going around lately, right, Phil? You think you're on fucking easy street, then you get kicked in the fucking face.
In the next bubble screen over here, let's throw curls.
What are the whys, right? What are the whys?
Bears Hour Live.
The Tape Never Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies.
Tape never lies.
Starts now.
The tape never lies.
32 is the identity.
Yeah, you look at the tape. So as a coach, your resume is the tape.
Loses the football. Strip sack and
Bears our live.
Give me some fucking
Bears our live. We go online right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Yo. Bears our live.
Son of a bitch, you better block.
Bears our live. We go online right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Ran up with the true analysis. You expect raw passion for the show.
You saw the growth in
locked
Justin
in with real
Fields.
emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil to bring that range within with facts by shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened, to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. True to fundamentals, never gimmicks and tricks. Guess we're moving Soldier Field up to Arlington Heights. Mill out counting bucks while the mayor pick fights. As our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing, delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion on what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame show, expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, I love they can survive.
But don't you worry.
Bears Hour Live.
Bears our live. Bears our live. We go
Let him sit his ass there again. I don't think we're that much worse.
the myth, the red legend, Dr. Phil Ototion.
This is football, baby. Culture is the problem. Let's get it on. Little thing. Bears our live. Bears our
Son of a bitch, you better block.
live.
That's what happens. That's when you have a real good team.
And let's get it on.
Give me some fucking names.
This is Bears Hour Live.
Merry Christmas. Welcome to BHL Week 16. Bears versus Bills. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The tank is on. That's what happened today. But this is going to be a condensed BHL. I think we alerted all you guys. I think everybody knows why. This being Christmas Eve, but we're not going to leave you short. Got lots to talk about. I'm going to turn it over to my guy here, DDP. He's going to give you a little cheery Christmas Eve rant. I'm sure it's filled with sunshine, rainbows, and peppermint sticks. So let's go.
Yeah. I guess that's the only thing you really could take away. I think it's sad for me personally that this great game of football has to be tarnished, whether you agree or disagree with the reality of a team going out there to tank. For me, it's a disgrace. It's disgusting on every level of football. The play caller, the energy level of the offense. I don't know what Bears football is anymore. You know, as Shane said, tankathon. It's just, this game of football is so important to so many people, including you all watching the game, living and dying, guys going out there in pink pajamas to watch their Bears play the game. And at the end of the day, come back and tell me what the second pick means to the Bears. We'll find that out. To me, you go, and I know Herm Edwards is famous for saying it, but there's many of a coach before. that has said it as well. You play to win. Only one fucking thing for it. Play to win. Go out there, you get some answers. We're seeing Larry Borum. That question was answered 3 seconds in. Schofield, Mustafer, the same fucking things over and over again. The justification of an offensive line, the terrible play calling. I just don't get it. Velus Jones stepping up and making a goddamn play. That's where you're going to gain and learn. Throwing the ball down the field, taking shots. What do you got to lose on offense? Second overall pick. Come on, they don't have talent. It's not coaching. I've played this game. I know. I've eaten 17 donuts before half. Well, fucking no shit. You know what you know? Another losing fucking season. That's what you know. Keep the losing culture going. Pass the baton of losing. Let's get the second overall pick. I can't even fucking watch the screen. Can't even watch it. I'm different than most people. Whoever's on my bus is going to every fucking game with the understanding I'm going to play the fucking best. I'm going to play the fucking best. We're going to go out there and fucking win. Your second overall pick, stick it up your ass. Stick it right up your ass and take it with you with your 50-50 roll of a dice and one injury away from your second overall pick. Losing is a disease. That's what it is. Focus on the fucking positives and come out and give me the list. Check it fucking twice, Gatsy. And, Velus, I really like how he made that catch today, and he improved over a great week of practice. Same fucking shit. Give me someone that wants to fucking win. It's fucking ridiculous. Got nothing else to say. Sucks that I gotta deal with this kind of shit in Christmas time. I can understand playing your asses off and losing a game. Tanking, there's no way that wasn't. There's no way that wasn't. Like you said to start the show, Shane. That's Bears football.
Yeah, and I mean you attack downfield, on that one play with Velus, and I understand the personnel and the elements and stuff like that, but it's clear what their end goal is. If you remember Kylo Ren when they were shooting down at Luke Skywalker and he was just screaming more. That's what I said every time they were calling a run play. That's what I saw Ryan Poles up in the luxury suite screaming down. Or when the Bears stopped them on third down, I tweeted out that Ryan Poles threw a flag for holding on the Bears, on third down, so Buffalo would get the ball back. But it is what it is, and I mean, I don't see any other way around it. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. They want the number. They want the number 2 pick in the draft, and I see both sides of the fence when you're talking about a potential trade down. You have 2 blue chip defenders. If you're not going to trade down, it's what it is. I mean, you got Houston and Tennessee. Tennessee's up 14-10 right now with about 9 minutes left. Houston's got the ball driving, and so you're not out of contention for the number 1 overall pick yet. And it is what it is. You can love it, you can hate it, you can disagree with it.
I'll just stay there. The third down throw to David Montgomery on that last before he got hurt, 1 yard throw. I hate it. I just think culturally you send the fucking wrong message. Let the let the energy lie where it is. The last nerd that won a Super Bowl will be the fucking first one because they don't fucking do it. These stats,
is the bad culture is the bad culture showing to you on the field? It's not
tackling. Tackling was atrocious today.
Oh, it was. I mean, I don't think anybody played well today. Velus Jones stepped up. He needed to, made a couple plays, had a couple nice returns.
Well, like I said with Adam Rank yesterday, I'm like, well, the coach has the power because everybody knows he ain't going nowhere next year. So you kind of have to go by that. That's why the red flags that I've shared that people have misunderstood are going to be there. Now, today, you and I both agree that clearly was a tank job, but I think you really set yourself back doing that. It really sucked.
Yeah, I'm not there with that, Phil. I mean, the best team in the NFL tanked. They pulled their starting quarterback off the field in a game to acquire more draft assets in Philadelphia. And it didn't, I mean, you look at it now, and I don't think any of the players, I don't think anybody in the front office is saying, man, that game that we gave to the Commanders right at the end, is either the Commanders or the Giants, that fractured our locker room. It's going to fix the locker room is winning, and winning consistently. And they're trying to give themselves the most possible assets draft-wise to do that moving forward. But Anthony, the Bears,
you can't
Christian Watson went before the Bears picked. Christian Watson pick had nothing to do with Velus Jones, who went number 71 overall. Like I said, I know I singled you out here, but your facts are.
I don't know how anybody, including Chubbs, can't see that wasn't a tank job. It's like your coach is calling run, and you're down 10. You have to fucking throw the football. You got to be aggressive. I don't know how that helps Justin Fields in this football team unless maybe.
I didn't look at anything today, and I didn't get Buffalo is infinitely better than us, but I didn't look at anything today and say there was just no possible way we could compete today. I mean, again, end of the day, the Bears have been in almost this game at the end got completely out of hand. But again, when you say that it's going to fracture a locker room and when it's causing dissent and it's going to ruin your culture, I need to see proof of that on the field. And I'm not. They're going out. They're out there and they're competing every single week. That's
just against the competition. Then you're competing against your own self on top of it. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, listen, you know, I mean, they're not going to go out there and just bench Justin if he's not hurt just so they can tank. I mean, that's going to cause huge issues, but there's ways for them to do it. I mean, you go on Twitter and there's like Matt Urich was a guy and a few other guys that are these fans that think that a tank has anything to do with this. And I'm like, is it really that hard to see? I mean, other than
I saw it 100%. My son, he's 8. He saw it. He's like, Dad, we're in the game. Why isn't Justin throwing? I go, yeah, because we're trying to lose the game. And that's sad. And listen, the great thing about it is the great justifier of it is we're going to find out next year what these coaches. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, and this is the thing too, and I think that this is critical because everybody wants to get fired up. Need to pass more. Josh Allen was 15 for 26 today. Justin Fields was 15 for 23.
Well, situationally,
sure, I know, but
that's what your point is against the guys that are saying it wasn't tanking. To me, I don't even know how to comprehend this. I don't know how it's going to affect. I know it affects me. I don't know how it's going to affect 27 of these guys that aren't even going to be.
It's one of those things, Phil, and I understand. I get caught up in this too just as much. If the Bears went out and beat Philly last week, I was not going to come on here and be pissed off and upset and throwing shit, and just like with Buffalo today. But it's one of those things when you get into the draft and it's draft day and you have the number 2 overall pick and your phone is ringing, and if you're talking about drafting at number 6 versus number 2, it's a massive difference in compensation for somebody that wants to come up for a quarterback. Or if you can't consummate a trade, you just sit there and you take one of the blue chip defenders.
Hold on, Shane. We're gonna go over breaking news to Mackenzie McNeil's show.
Yeah,
we're gonna see his broadcast where we're hilarious.
Yeah,
thanks, I'm Mackenzie. Just telling you, Mackenzie, if you have ever played or coached, you would understand situationally something is awry.
When you go out and you throw downfield and you get a bunch of momentum, and then it's run. And I mean, I understand, yes, there's elements that you're dealing with. Doesn't mean you just completed a 44-yard pass in those elements.
Exactly. Now, straight drop, 2 tight ends in the seam. Boom. Komet with a touchdown. I don't know. Winning is a cure-all for me. But, I'll wait. I'll be patient and watch where this shit goes. But the 50-50 shot of dice when it comes to draft choices, I've been there. So are they going to stay at 2? Are they going to stay at 2? Or are they going to trade down, get more picks? That's going to be the story. But for right now, I'm the coach. I don't agree at all with this Eberflus or Ryan Poles. Let's fucking lose. That's bad. I just don't agree with it. And that's going to be for the record. We'll see where this goes. They get.
But this is the thing. This is what we have to. And like Snake, there's no guarantee. Everybody understands that it's a crapshoot.
Right.
But there's a pretty big difference in drafting. You may not even be relying on a player at number 2. You're relying on somebody else to come up and make that decision. You're relying on Carolina to make a trade. You're relying on Indy to make a trade. You're relying on Atlanta to make a trade, to come up. They want the compensation if that's the avenue that they're going to take, because you're talking multiple premium high picks from a team coming up this year, and at least a 1 and potentially another 2nd round pick next year, and maybe the 2 would come the year after that. That's what they're looking at. They want to give themselves more bullets in the chamber. Nobody is saying that they're going to draft Will Anderson and he's going to be a bona fide Hall of Famer, but I mean, thanks. Obviously you've never watched the show. Whatever your name is, I can't stand opinion, but cool. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Everybody's a fucking genius. Everybody's a genius.
Everybody knows.
Start your own podcast.
I want to
go do that.
I want to watch some of their shows and their opinions.
I would love
because
to. Yeah.
Everybody thinks they could get behind the mic, stand for their analysis.
Well, it would be fun. I'd love to watch the podcast with that guy's girlfriend and his mom and dad, because that would be the only people watching it. I'm just saying, everybody thinks it's funny to come into a chat and we get it. You've never listened to a goddamn thing I said. I'm explaining the other fucking side of what's going on here, guys. It's not that fucking difficult. You want to go out and beat the Buffalo Bills, and on draft day, how many of you fucking guys are going to be standing here and say, oh man, we're drafting 8th, but you remember that fucking Bills game that we won in week 16? That was so fucking dope. I mean, cool. It's awesome. Why don't we have Will Anderson? Why don't we have multiple premium picks moving around? NFL mediocrity is the worst place to be. You give yourself the most bullets in the chamber. They're at number 2 right now. If they win one more game, the worst they can do is go down to number 4. They're still not out of the number 1 overall pick. Houston's losing right now 14-13 and still driving again for the 3rd week in a row.
All I want for Christmas was Justin not to get hurt. So him grimacing at the end, that doesn't bode
just a
well.
minute, Kyle. This is what I'm talking about. Who's the last good first-round pick we've had in our lifetime? Roquan Smith? I don't know. Maybe your fucking quarterback, Kyle. Justin Fields. What are we talking about here? My God.
I mean, forgot honestly, about that guy.
Yeah, let's forget about the fucking franchise. Jesus. Is it really that hard to see what their fucking thought process is, even if you don't agree with the way that they're getting there? Chubb said that it was going to fracture the fucking locker room and tear the team apart when they traded Robert Quinn and traded Roquan Smith. I haven't seen that. So maybe Chubbs is wrong. I'm just saying that they're trying to set themselves up for 2023 and beyond with who they feel like is an upper echelon franchise talent at quarterback.
For me, I am a big believer in fundamentals and effort, energy. I don't like the shitty edges, the lack of a pass rush, the lack of tackling, the offensive line continue to start Sam Mustipher. Then you have the fucking disgrace of Larry Borum in at left guard and then Schofield at right guard. Finally, you get to see Dieter in there, who did a hell of a job. Again, it's like not hard to see that he could play. Touchdown Texans, Shane. Touchdown Texans.
Yeah, no, I'm watching it. And
how many games is that in a row? He's saying it's 7. Is it 8 or 9 losses in a row?
One. But that losing doesn't show that there's not buy-in on the team. You can't watch this game and tell me that these guys aren't bought in. It hasn't fractured the locker room. But Leo, again, we like to listen here. He didn't say anything about a top 10 pick. He said, who was the last first-round pick that the Bears have done good with? Roquan? He didn't say anything about top 10.
He didn't. I have to give Shane 3 points there.
Don't give me 3. I just dunked on his ass.
7 points. That's a touchdown.
Oh, shit. I forgot about Ivan.
He's almost home, so he'll pop on when he gets there. Right. Obviously, we're waiting for Coach Eberflus on this Christmas Eve edition of Bears Hour Live. I'm asking you to smash the like button, even if you're a hater that loves to be in the chat hating. I think on Christmas, you could smash the like button. Shane and I discussing what we both agree was a tankathon on Christmas Eve.
And it's
where it goes, how this offseason is going to be. There's going to be a lot of fire and passion because we're going to be breaking down this coaching staff, the offense.
I just have a feeling, Phil, that everybody that's complaining right now about this are going to be the same fucking guys that are complaining on draft day.
About what?
That it's going to be well, if we had to win that one extra game and now we're drafting lower. That's what I'm saying. They're playing both sides of the fence.
Can't play both sides of the fence. For me, I don't care if the Bears were picking 7. I'm going to find the best player for you. That's how I feel. But these guys are going to go out
like you said, nothing is guaranteed. I think the end game of all of this, like I said, I think they want to put themselves in a position that if they can get somebody that's going to overpay them exorbitantly for a trade up, where they can set themselves up now and in the future, they'll entertain that. But if they can't work it out, then it comes down to the two blue chip defenders that you're guaranteeing yourself. Even at number 3, Phil, like Cars and I talked about
saying we're going to get a receiver in the first round. Saying,
no. Merry Christmas,
she's
Sarah.
saying she's going to be pissed. Or he. Sarah can also be a he, apparently.
Yeah, but there's I can paint a pathway that if the Bears are drafting at number 3, that Jalen Carter or Will Anderson go number 1, and whoever's left over goes number 2 to Seattle. That's not out of the question here.
Say Houston that again?
Houston. So if Houston's drafting number 2 and Seattle, if Houston's at number 1 and Seattle's at number 2, let's just say because that's the Broncos pick, there's a pathway where you could see both Jalen Carter and Will Anderson go 1 and 2. Houston's got the 13th overall pick or whatever it is in the first round also, and the first pick in the second round that they can use to trade up if they want a quarterback. So there's a pathway that if the Bears are sitting at 3, then you're controlling the entire quarterback game, but you never have a shot at Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. I don't think that is set in stone that something like that could happen either.
Well, I don't know what this is going to happen. All I do know is what I saw and felt today. I don't know that you can get behind it unless you want that. I want that number 2 pick. If that's where you are, then you love today. For me, I have anxiety watching.
I do too, Phil. I sat here with my son, watched the entire game. It's hard.
40 seconds. Or even before the half with timeouts,
it's hard to digest.
Bubble screen. I don't understand it. And I don't want Justin to fall victim to it. The fact that he's hurt, if he's hurt,
he was limping.
I think grimacing in the tent.
They were in the tent to see it.
At the stadium, they were at the stadium saying we saw him grimacing coming out of the tent.
Oh yeah, I mean he was.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was grim. I don't know if it was his ankle. I know at one point during the game he was tugging on his left shoulder again.
I would love the NFL to get rid of this and force teams to play to win and put it as a lottery.
Well, then that's what Sean Payton was talking about. You make it the lottery type system.
Fuck you, polls. Fucking tank show. Can't wait to see what you draft. That's what I'm saying on December 24th.
We're gonna have lots of time to talk about it. But I mean, if Phil, you're a Will Anderson guy.
Love Will, yes.
I mean, you would love an opportunity to see him on this team. If he was,
They will pass on Will and take some fucking guy.
I don't think so. I think it would be one of those guys. And honestly, the more that I've already dove into this stuff too, and I can go both ways on it, but I almost feel like they would go into free agency, and I don't expect Daron Payne to be available. Here's the coach.
Would you fire Eberflus if you had a shot at Sean Payton?
Okay. Overall, I thought the guys obviously it was a spirited game for sure. But at the end of the day, I just told the guys in the locker room really two things.
Different rooms.
Owning the line of scrimmage. Obviously we didn't do a good enough job with that.
Well, it's the backdrop.
They had the ability to run the ball.
Is that it?
And we did not run the ball as well as we wanted to. So that to me was the deciding factor in the game at the end of the day. But again, I was pleased with the 3 takeaways. We really were +2. I know we threw one at the very end there, but really good job of that. And I just think we need to capitalize on those takeaways. I know we had 3 points on one of them, but we need to capitalize on those short fields. And that's really just complimentary football. So I thought we needed to do a better job of that. But again, hats off to the special teams. Special teams did a really good job today.
Houston Texans just got a turnover.
And the conditions out there, Kyra was really good. Scales, long snapping, short snapping, hold by Trenton was really good. Trenton had a nice punt and pin. on that situation where
Going
we
through
had a
the
3 and out on
positives.
defense, then we ended up getting a
Start a
field
little
goal off of that
negative.
short field. So that was really good by those guys. Valus Jones again on the kick returns. I was really pleased with Valus today. He did a very nice job on the kick returns and also that really big catch.
Let's point out the negative
for him
first.
to bounce back
About the offensive line
from last week and did a really nice job with that. And then
I'll
really
give him
you
some
look at
growth
10-6 up and
now
half.
he's going to the positive.
I thought our guys did a really nice job, and really the third quarters were where we didn't do a good enough job. We in the third quarter they went touchdown, fumble. We went fumble, punt. So wasn't good enough there in the third quarter. Situational football. Also,
There
we
he
need
is.
to be better at. I think we were
What's up, guys?
2 of 12, and they were 6 of 11 on third down. Red zone, the same
Warmed
thing. It was
up.
lopsided that way.
A little bit.
But so that's
tank
where we were
up
with those things.
Yeah.
But again, playing against a great quarterback like Josh, we did have 2 interceptions, held his QB rating down. Again, we missed on a missed opportunity for a big play there on the throwback into the high red fringe shot. Jalen's got to do a good job. Jones has to do a good job of looking that in. That could have been a big play for us. And again, we just got to work on that with the coaches. But
People in the chat are
overall, at the end of the day, it's
yelling for this guy to be
disappointing.
fired.
A good football team came in
the
here. My hats
dumbest
off to the
fucking thing
Buffalo
ever.
Bills and their coaching staff. Did a nice job of executing today. But open up questions from there.
What happened to Justin at the end?
Yeah, so he got his foot stepped on. So his foot got stepped on. Okay.
All right.
Well, that's because Leisure's a smarmy little bitch. That's why.
What?
Nate in there to
foot.
run that 2-minute drive. And then right after
That's
that,
all
they
I
said he
want
was
from
okay.
you, Coach.
He was good. So
Pride.
Justin Fields is fine.
What led to the decision to shut down Jalen Johnson for the rest of the season?
Yeah, it was an interesting week with that because we wanted him to go. He wanted to go, and we worked him through the early part of the week, and then again working with the doctors, with Ryan and I, and also the player. At the end of the day, he didn't feel comfortable. We didn't feel comfortable putting him out there in a situation to be able to execute the right way to play his position with his ring finger, and it was broke. I didn't say it the other day because it was before the game, but it was a broken ring finger. So we thought it was the best interest in our organization to put him on the IR.
Did he have a setback in practice?
No, we were just trying to work through it.
Man, there were a few the run defense today, and I think at some point toward the end of the third quarter, you gave up 10 yards. What do you guys need to do better there? And then on the two long touchdowns, I don't think the running back was touched either.
Yep.
What happened?
Yeah, so run defense is all 11. It starts up front, so the front 7. They're
run defense
responsible for gaps inside.
today, Coach.
So you got your D line that are lined up, responsible for the gaps, and then the linebackers have the gaps.
Were
When you're playing single high, safety also has a gap. So
nowhere.
Brisker
had his worst
game. They
game.
played a lot of single high today against those guys, and again, guys not in there where they need to be. Doing their responsibility. And then when the ball gets through there in the secondary, then you got your middle of field safety. He's got to be able to work it inside out. And I think on the first one there, we just got to go ahead and shoot. Go ahead and shoot it right there and make that tackle.
Single tip.
And then if it's what's that? Yeah. And then if it's too high, then we just got
Not
to
a good day for
keep
Jaquan.
between those two guys
Wow,
and
he had
do
a
a good job
terrible
keeping
day.
the cup. And again, wasn't good enough.
Is run defense more effort based than anything else?
It's coaching and effort and responsibility by the player. It's all 3.
Man, noticeably later in the fourth quarter,
Coaching,
especially after turnovers by Josh
effort,
Allen, the play
and
calling trended
responsibility
toward
there.
running the ball more, even though the success of it had started to go down. What went into the decision to run more during that period?
Yeah, I'll have to look at the tape, during that time and see exactly what we were, exactly what we needed to do during that point. But again, we had plenty of time, plenty of possessions left at that point. We weren't in any panic mode right there at that point of the game. So we had plenty of possessions left to win it.
Man, what are you guys expecting?
Were you trying to coach?
Yeah, you should ask that question.
When he's going up against the favorite to win.
It seemed like me in situational football, you weren't aggressive.
Can we get Ivan to take the jersey off so we can see the whole suit, please?
Just
You want to see the whole suit?
Just operate in the offense, be the leader that he
Ralphie,
is.
come back.
Execute the offense. And again, you're going to have different things go on, and he's got a lot of grit.
He made an appearance on CBS.
That's what he did today. So
Santos.
that's really about it.
Now, you mentioned the takeaways today, and I mean, you won the turnover
Ivan
battle.
showing up.
This has kind of been a trend the last few games. What's going into kind of getting more of those? Are the guys just kind of more comfortable with the system and maybe recognizing things more? I mean, you're doing it without a lot of pressure up front. So.
Yeah, it's guys are just putting our mind on it. We put it in front of the players. We got a goal we need to
Smash the
accomplish
like
these
button
last 4
for
games. And I think the guys are really doing a good job in practice. It all starts in practice. The guys are really doing punch, hammer, rake, and strip attempts during practice. And we're doing a good job of focusing, catching the ball.
But we got a quarterback.
It's a group effort. And it's the coaches got to put it in front of the players. We got to emphasize it as
I
a
don't
group.
like using
and the
your
guys have done a nice job
personnel.
the last 2 weeks.
It's not often that Justin doesn't really pose a threat of a run. It's not often it doesn't happen. How did that affect the rest of the running game?
Yeah, I mean, I think my hat's off to Buffalo. They did a good job.
Pretty big deal.
They did a good job of keeping him in there. And when he tried to get out of there, I thought they did a nice job of the way they rushed the quarterback, and certainly had a couple guys assigned to him in some of those situations. But again, I have to look at the tape. But just overall, looking at the sideline, I thought they did a nice job.
Just to go along with that, they stopped the run overall pretty well. Do you have a feel for what the Bills did well there to limit you?
Yeah, I know they played mostly single high, but again, I'll have to look at it. They're a single high quarters team, so they do play single high. They play their shell as a quarters where they involve their safety. So I'll have to look at it.
What did Gordon do well on the interception? It seemed like there was nobody in this area that kind of sunk deeper.
Yeah, it was just cover 3. The play got extended, did a nice job of high pointing the ball. And he had a choice to, keep it in or take it out. And he took it out and had a nice return to the 35. And it's one of those situations where you got to capitalize.
I've never been on here where I shouldn't say that. There's been some guys that, you know what, Phil, you were right. I was wrong.
Defense to be in a nickel in that situation, was that like an error?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'll go back and look at it, but right now, just off the top of my head, I don't think that was the case.
The first touchdown, that was it. You guys were bringing pressure from the opposite side. The first long run.
Yeah.
You hop there and there's a tackle that's pulling.
We keep missing sacks.
Yeah. Again, I have to go look at it.
Travis has got to finish.
Did we even get close to making sacks?
We had 2 shots. We missed both.
Jones and Travis, right?
Jones, Travis twice.
Yeah, I don't have that sense right now.
Texans are up 19-14 with 6 seconds left.
We got to be creative how we do things and how we run the ball. And our guys have been awesome.
Tennessee,
obviously, we're number 1 in the league in
running. Had a face mask on the quarterback.
So we've had a good year running the ball.
So Texans did a good job. They're going to get another play.
Getting back in there and
from about there, from about the 50.
Bomb into the end zone.
All right.
Thanks, Coach. Tank yourself. We're gonna figure out where we are. I know we're in the holidays. Ivan making an appearance on CBS Sports.
He did. I even had to rewind it, and
thank God, Shane.
I had my son standing up in front of the TV. He's like, "Daddy, I see him. He's right there." We ran it back, and we got some pictures.
Shout out to Riley. Thanks, Riley. Looking for me. It wasn't hard to miss, guys.
I had to circle you.
Look for
my whole house was
the drunk pink rabbit. Well,
that's exactly right, Shane. That's exactly right.
Coach O was like, "Look at that crazy son of a bitch." My dad went to church for Christmas Eve Mass, and he was disgusted.
It's all closed here, bro. We're state of emergency here in New York. You can't even. It's not that we're getting so much snow. It is like
the wind,
65-mile-an-hour winds. There's flood warnings because we live on the river here. I mean, it's intense. Yeah. There was our local fire department pulled like 20 people off the road, and they had to stay right in the fire department last night. All right, so here's a bomb by Tennessee, and it's picked off in the end zone.
There you go.
So now that moves Houston to. No, that's Houston's second win.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Two more shots.
Yeah.
Ivan, you were there. Well. You were there at the game. Obviously, firsthand look at it. What were your thoughts? You've heard the conversation here.
Yeah, I can't disagree with this being a tank trap. I just can't do it. There was plays like I said, Velas. For some, he must have been hearing us the last couple of weeks talking about him being cut because
good thing he wasn't on the fucking practice squad. He wouldn't be able to play, Phil.
But
make one play.
Yeah, honestly,
make two now.
He had his first 2 catches past the line of scrimmage today, Shane.
Yeah.
So that was a plus. But
he couldn't get out of the game without putting one on the ground.
Right, exactly. But that bomb was something I was like, okay, I like that he came out trying to make an effort to be a factor, which is fine. But as far as like the overall play calling, when push come to shove, I was just like, okay, guys, like, come on, at least try to fucking throw downfield. But you saw those last 3 to 4 drives, it was just dead right there, dead with the play calling. It stopped right there with the play calling, and I wasn't happy. Like Soldier Field, like I sent you guys text message. Soldier Field was
an
jumping.
Empty house.
Yeah, it was very live up until that point, and then even us, like I left when it was 28. As soon as Josh Allen scored that touchdown on that run, I was like, all right, guys, like we can make it because they have to go. My brothers have to go out down by Lamont, so it's like about an hour and a half away for Christmas Eve. I'm over here waiting for the family because they went up to Wisconsin, but I was just like, let's go. Like I could see the writing on the wall already. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here early because they're just playing out the rest of the game. That's pretty much all they did was play out the rest of the game. And in this one, like there's games before where I was definitely adamant about them not tanking, but this one was not. It wasn't close. Like you could see, you were in the ball game, 21-13, and then you just kind of laid down.
Yeah, I mean,
to defend Cobra Commander, guys, I asked the question to Shane. If Sean Payton became available, would you move on from Eberflus? That was my question.
He is available.
No, but he wasn't planning on coaching this past. Now he's becoming available.
Yeah, word is that he wants
the Cowboys.
LA.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I had heard.
To take over for this dude?
Either
won the Super Bowl last week. I mean,
either
last year.
I mean, if you're
McVay?
McVay and your quarterback may potentially not play again. I mean, I know he said he wants to, but injured, and you can sign $100 million deal to be a commentator that was already offered to him. Pretty interesting.
It'd be very LA of them.
Yeah, but I mean the Chargers is Staley going to be there next year? I don't think he'd have any problem sliding in there with Herbert. I mean, I think anybody. Listen, it
was
Ryan,
just a fun question.
He was available. he was available last year, correct?
No, he
in the
wasn't
offseason
going to take any.
But I'm just saying they're not. There's zero shot the Bears are firing that Ryan Poles is firing Matt Eberflus. Zero. No, it's not even worth the airtime to speak about here.
Pushing for that is, I think it's just very short-sighted. I could understand the frustration with the Bears losing. I mean, we're all like 8 games in a row now. We're all pissed. We all don't want to. 8. I believe it's 8.
Yeah, I think it's 8.
Because we had the bye. We had the bye. That's what made it nice. 9 weeks, 8 games lost in 9 weeks with the bye. So the thing is, I just feel like just be patient. Just be patient. Give them the second year. If by next year you're seeing the same bullshit, then we could talk about firing.
We'll know by week 8 next year.
Absolutely.
I'll know.
Absolutely.
I have put the caution in the wind that there's some things. This tanking thing I can't get behind, but I get both sides of the table on. I just don't get it. I don't agree with it, rather. I get it. So now you can have a lot more power in regards to the draft. Are you going to take and use it with the second pick, or are you going to trade it down to try to get a king's ransom of picks or maybe a veteran player in the draft?
On Cars Keys Thursday night, Cars brought up the point, and I know there's people that are going to disagree with this, is adding Will Anderson, and let me finish before everybody rolls their eyes.
This is Cars' point, right?
Yes, cars, but it
I already
makes
disagree with it already.
no. But what I'm saying is, if the Bears are at number 2, is it the way that this roster is constructed? Is it too much of a luxury to get one guy if the potential is there for a massive trade down in terms of compensation? That's
the analytic guys, and that yes, you take the one surefire pick in your analysis because those guys are the Joey Bosas. Would you sign Joey Bosa? That's what you got to do, is try to understand finding the right guys. Not
he hasn't
a bunch of guys.
Yeah, I mean it's an
You've
interesting.
got free agency for that. Fill and find the starters there. Then find the
that's
elite
part of it.
young talent.
Yeah, he painted the picture of how you get to that point, even just in NFL free agency, where there's an avenue. If Daron Payne here's the quarterback.
My foot's down.
They did hold you to more less rush hours than you usually do. How well do you feel you adapted to that change?
Looks dapper today, Chris.
I adapted well, and when they do take my
I like that jacket.
running ability away, my job is to take one defender or 2 defenders with me to open up the running game for the running back. So yeah.
You mentioned last week that you're obviously not trying to do this 1,000 yards every season. And when you were playing back at the shoot Ohio State, you didn't run as much as you do now. Do you feel more comfortable today having to sit back and pass as opposed to having to run?
I felt the same, just less running. So I felt better breathing wise, so I didn't have to breathe as hard. But yeah, felt good.
Justin, through your eyes, what did they do well to kind of take you away?
They just had the DN play me more. So when he does, play outside, play wide like that, I just carry out my fake and get him going with me. And
biggest need of the Chicago Bears.
Eberflus said
Defensive end pass
on
rush.
the fourth quarter.
That's it. You look at
still
it.
Can't put full weight on it.
No one's getting there.
You can say defensive line and be right.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
That would be cheating. I think
they told
you
me it was
need
going to be a nagging
someone
injury
that
all
can
year. So just kind of fight through.
get off the edge and get there.
So that was not the one that you separated earlier this year?
Yeah, same thing.
Justin, what was the play that got your foot?
Yeah, the media room doesn't have the Chicago Bears backdrop. That's why it looks so different.
On the touchdown early on the first down, not there. What did you see?
What's the story behind that? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it was too high. That corner touch that we called a skinny route. So the corner attached.
Someone from
and the nickel didn't
Rainbows
go
and
out
Sunshine
so of course that left
pissed
him wide
off
open
about
and,
tanking and
great
ripped
play
the
call by
fucking
Luke,
thing down,
great protection
threw
off
it
that,
into the
and
street.
that's
I
what,
could see it now.
It was up and so wide open out there.
So now the conditions today, how did they impact the passing game?
It was crazy. It really impacted the whole game. From snaps to even tosses. Like the tosses on the demo had to lock in on the tosses because they were flying everywhere. The snaps, of course, were going everywhere. But definitely impacts the passing game with trying to figure out which way you want to throw the ball,
Schofield,
which way the wind is blowing, and then when the gusts are up to
it's not
30,
fun to
35
watch
miles an
their
hour.
offensive line.
It's like you just
I know
wanna
that's a huge
hopefully
need
get,
too.
The passing plays when it's not that windy, but you just have to think about
As
all
bad
those,
as these receivers are,
when
it's funny how the need of receivers down the list.
Yeah, that's a training camp play.
It's crazy.
Bailey's he's fast, and I'm finally I'm glad he finally got to use his speed. So of course, just saw that safety attached, and the corner tried to fall off. So just kind of put it outside, and he did a great job going to get that ball. So of course, it was a great catch.
I don't think they've ever spoken to Justin Fields.
Exactly.
They've never said a word.
Here's our tanking plan, Justin.
That
doesn't happen.
This is happening in regards to
see which way the wind was blowing and
play calls
to the wind. But no, I'm just playing.
Situation.
But it was just like I said, it was a great adjusted ball. Great adjust by him to go catch the ball.
There's no way.
Justin, before today, a lot of those runs you've had, they're really invigorating for the offense, especially at home and stuff like that. Do you think the offense missed that spark?
PFF changed their rankings of the Bears' offensive line after that game.
They're down to 11?
9.
Oh,
but I'm not gonna.
Moved them up.
The reality of it is, I'm not gonna be running for 100 yards a game. So
I moved him down one, like I was
taking my legs away. Then my job is to
no longer 10.
Take a defender with me, maybe take 2 with me, and then allow the running backs to work. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you have a sense for why the offense?
It's just such a disingenuous ranking.
Yeah,
It just,
I felt the first drive. I felt like we were, explosive plays, explosive runs, stuff like that. And then after that, I don't think we, ran the ball well. Coach talked to us, after the game, talking about controlling the line of scrimmage. So, I think we just
the number one pick.
With running the ball on them. I think they did a good job defensively.
We're staying close.
Got to give credit to those guys, and just keep getting better. And of course,
to
we
2 or 3.
The run game makes everything easier.
Yeah, if you trade back,
in all the offers.
If you trade back, the plan
whenever we
is
can have
to
those types of plays, it always
acquire
helps.
more assets and still be able to take Anderson or Carter.
Right.
I mean, when the defense does a
The
good
one
job,
pick will give you the opportunity to go back to 3.
on our part,
So would
seeing
number
them,
2.
Play such a good game and take the ball away as many times.
Nobody's
as they
trading
did,
up for a defender at 2.
capitalize on them. So
it's going to be
just
quarterback.
gotta do a better job,
So that would leave
capitalizing
3 and
on
4.
those, opportunities.
Who's at
and,
3 right now?
Seattle. And then Arizona, I think.
Does sticking with these 2 tough teams kind of do anything for you guys confidently?
I mean, it's not like we had a mindset that we were just gonna, get blown out. We knew that, of course, they're talented, but we knew that, we play hard.
It's going to be defining moments all around this offseason
and
for
we
Ryan
really
Poles.
try to make it about us.
Obviously,
as long as we
he did
execute,
not
as long as we do the right
select
things,
Justin
then, we have a chance versus anybody. So
that was Ryan
just got to
Pace.
be better. Like I said, I got to be better. We got to be better as an offense.
Jerry Krause didn't draft Michael Jordan. Rod Thorne did.
Now we have to see how Poles, Eberflus, identify holes in this roster.
Yeah, I mean, I
how
think
do
you
they
just have
do
to
it in free agency?
Positives, like the defense, we had a lot of rookies playing out there, and yet they're still taking the ball away.
I really like what I saw
offense,
with
had a lot
Jalen
of
Jones
backups
and
today,
Blackwell.
But, still explosive plays. So
Both
this
those
is
guys
all
are players.
positives,
Yeah.
not just gives us hope
both
and
of them-
confidence every day.
both of them look like they
I said
belong.
before,
They're
guys,
the
they don't look
fighting
record, they
points
just
I
come in
always
each and
have
every day
with
to work,
guys like
and that's what I
Chubbs
love about
when they
them. So,
say there's no talent. They weren't even drafted. There's no. Are you watching these two guys? I mean, same with Gordon. To me, has solidified my thought. Like he's better playing outside corner, using his athletes, and the sideline as his
Jamal's
trade.
on delay. Jamal's on that 3.5 hour delay.
Those guys in the locker room know I'm going to give
on that bullet
100%. Every time I'm on the field, they know I'm going to lead them, and they know I'm going to give them my all. So as long as I do my job
like
and
Gordon
do my job as best as
playing
possible, I think
corner
we have a chance versus
more
anybody. Like I
so
said
than
before.
nickel corner. Not that he couldn't do it. It's just showing that he feels more comfortable. You could just see his confidence up there, just flowing, being free to the football.
Just going back to the corners, I watching it live. Like you could see there was times where I was like, turn your head around, and sure enough, he turned his head around. There was one on the going down towards the south end zone on the left sideline. He got his head around. I believe it was Jalen Jones. He got his head around. Was able
he
to
had one in the end zone too.
Yeah,
He turned around. He had his ass out and knocked that ball
got his
down.
head around, knocked the ball down. There's something to say about Blackwell and Jones playing well. Like there is some guys that you could see need to get more opportunities to show their talents, but the overall consensus is that it's not good. Like it's not good. It's just not good. Like we're not winning. We're not consistently knocking those balls down. We're not consistently shutting down a number one receiver. You had a guy like Gabe Davis having a pretty decent day, and he hasn't had a decent day in fucking, I want to say 6-7 weeks. So there is issues, but I would those two guys, just to highlight them. Yes, those guys have shown Phil that they're able to go out there and perform when their number is called.
And I think it's critical too when you look at this roster and how barren.
Dieter finally getting out there showed me just in like 3 play. I'm like, what do we do? Why isn't this guy out? He's just
at that point,
the defense. He
leave him in and see. Right. You leave him in, see where it goes. I totally understand that. But I think it's critical, in the NFL, and I know I keep on pounding this point into the ground, is that the Bears have been in just about every single game. And then people will come back and say, well, the Bears have 40 holes on their roster, which, yes, we understand this roster needs to be upgraded. But you go out there and you add a couple blue chip guys, just a couple guys can make a massive difference. That helps you sneak out a few more wins. We're just talking about a couple of guys. You go out and I know Creighton Wilfong doesn't agree and thinks that the guy is dumb, but you go out, there's going to be a wide receiver that comes available in the trade market. You go out and you get a DeAndre Hopkins and add him in with Chase Claypool and Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet and whatever they're going to do in the draft offensively. Those are things that are massive to a team moving forward. And I know we saw everybody was losing their shit because Jack Conklin and Elkin Jenkins signed extensions yesterday. And they're like, well, free agency's over. And I'm like, let's, just pump the brakes on the dramatics.
Just guys that are so dramatic.
Yeah, 97% of Twitter. But you know how that goes.
Well, the story is going to be this. The off season is coming upon us, and I don't like it because I wait all year for the NFL and football. I don't watch soccer. I don't watch baseball.
Yeah, this off season is going to be different, man. This is
just saying
this is different. Fun. This is different. We didn't have this channel when they acquired Jay Cutler. That's when we assumed that the Bears had the quarterback position fixed.
Thank you, Thomas, for understanding.
Right, but to me, this is totally different because of Justin Fields, and I think that. I mean, Ivan, you were there when Justin Fields isn't running around and making plays. I think the people were like, fuck it, let's go. Christmas tomorrow, we got lots of shit to do. Justin's not out here making fucking game-changing plays. They're not running him.
You know what? Even in scramble, I agree, Shane. Even with scrambles that were just rollouts to get him outside the pocket to look for somebody downfield, like everybody's like, Justin, let's go. Like,
yeah.
And it's like, dude, like, chill out. Like, it's like he's not even running the football yet. He hasn't gone past the line of scrimmage. But to your point, every time he touched the ball, you believe. Like I said this before, every time Justin Field touches the ball, you believe that something good will come out of what the play is. Now, get him some play. We said it before. DDP had mentioned last week. Get him a guy that he can trust. I mean, and we're talking about a AJ Brown. We're talking about a Diggs. We're talking about these number one guys. Find him a guy like that, Hopkins. Find him a guy that you can, third down, you're gonna fucking be open no matter what. And then let's see how he fucking,
exactly.
how he
if you go to
from there.
If you go to the leading before today's game, 4 out of the top receiving yardage leaders in the NFL, 4 out of the 5 were all traded for.
Exactly.
For young quarterbacks. The only one was Justin Jefferson, and that pick was acquired via trade because that's what they got in the Stephon Diggs trade.
Can you answer this question for Leo? There's a lot of what ifs here. But did you read it? My bad.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll see next year. Just like you said, you can't. I don't know how anybody is making a definitive statement other than being completely overreactionary. Fuck, I mean, Lushy Loon or whatever the fuck his name was, saying
to fire him.
Yeah, fire him. And that if Getsy and the Bears go out and make moves this offseason and bring in Hopkins and solidify the offensive line and make a bunch of moves in the draft and bring in guys where we feel like they should be winning and he needs to be called out. You guys know us well enough. We're going to call him out.
I'm going to call out Gene Cock and wish him a Merry Christmas. Give it his wife. I get more DMs from Gene.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know where he's going with that.
At 3 a.m. What's up, big dog? Just make him some spaghetti and meatballs, 3:15 a.m. Merry Christmas, big dog.
Love him.
Oh, it's the best.
Love you, Gene. We are approaching that time. I just we'll let you go around with some final thoughts and then we'll wrap up. Shane, do you want a final thought?
Yeah, it's nobody is promoting losing and saying that is the answer. It sucks. I don't like to lose, but unfortunately, or fortunately, at the beginning of the season, you think about this. If I told you guys that the Bears were going to win 3 games, but we knew we had the answer at quarterback, everybody probably would have signed up for that.
Yeah.
It would. Imagine if we had 3 wins and we're like, is he the dude? Phil, we talked about it here. Then the draft is a completely different animal. Completely.
Right. If he gave us questions, then you're looking at drafting.
But we're all on the same page with Justin Fields moving forward.
Right.
He's the guy.
Yes.
The
There's
Bears,
no doubt.
yeah, and that's the Chicago Bears fans saying that. We've never been we said it with Jay, and I understand it, but this is different. This is the guy that you drafted.
Homegrown.
Right. This is the guy. And you have 125 million in cap space. And right now you have a top 2 pick. And you have a franchise quarterback. And you have young guys that you're building around in Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker. Yes, Jack Sanborn. You got to throw him in there. Braxton Jones needs to get in the strength program in the offseason in a big way. Dominique Robinson needs to get
every day.
Dominique Robinson needs to get in that same program. But it's I just laugh when everybody wants to paint that it's doom and gloom. And when you have a 23-year-old franchise level talent at quarterback, let's just overlook that and let's just fire everybody and start over yet again. Let's be the Cleveland Browns. Let's do that. Or the Chicago Bears recently, just recycling everything constantly.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with Shane. You know, I don't fucking like losing. Like, I don't like the Bears being 3 and whatever the fuck they are right now. It's
I never even thought of that. I mean, it's like only the 87th time that Lushy said it in this chat.
Oh, Peyton Manning again? Yeah. But I agree with Shane saying we know our guy is Justin Fields. We know QB1 is that guy. Now, if you're looking at a total bounce back, some of these things that are playing out for the Bears that Shane had listed, you need those things. You need the cap room. You need a draft pick that you could potentially trade down or take that best player available with the D end, with the D end or a D tack or somebody that's going to be a difference maker day one for you. You need those things. The thing is the losing. We all can't stand the losing. Nobody can. But for this season, bear with it. Understand that there is a plan and there is something going forward in Justin Fields. Now, I'm not saying that I accept it. I'm not saying that I like it.
Yeah,
but it's just a point of fact that you need things like a number 2 overall pick. You need things like getting rid of half this roster that probably, you went and took shots on guys that you were like, hey, let's give them a shot. Let's see if we can get the most out of them that aren't there. Okay, you made a mistake on some of those guys. Now you could go ahead and clean slate it and add somebody that's worth a damn to this roster. And I just, looking at this game, looking at the last game, looking at the game prior against the Eagles, looking at the game against the Packers, I just don't see I didn't see where they were trying to lose those games. This game, I could definitely agree with Phil saying that they were trying to tank this game. Am I upset? I'm not happy about it, but do I understand?
Doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good, right?
It definitely doesn't feel good because Soldier Field was jumping. Yeah. Soldier Field was giant. I text you guys. Soldier Field was like, hey, we're in this
because they
game.
Want to win. They felt the competitive spirit.
You could feel it come through the television when they connected on that with Velas because it was more than just a big play. It was like, oh, all right, Velas fucking did something. They finally, it was a deep ball by Justin
Fields.
Fields.
Drive, they fucking come out. I've been preaching this for months. They run counter.
Yeah.
David hits it. They get into the second. They're down by the goal line. That was a bullshit hold. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah,
Borum just got his ass fucking served. and went
that,
backwards.
that right side was not particularly looking good to me,
Yeah.
at least from watching it from the stands. But
let me say this to answer Alicia. Why are people? Because a lot of people are morons.
Yes.
That's why, Alicia Somerville,
Well,
and
in
they don't
quiz,
want to
it's-
give this kid credit. They want
exactly,
to
and it's
continue the
mostly
narrative.
NFC North fans that keep on saying that
Mhm.
because imagine I got into it on Twitter with a guy from Pittsburgh yesterday. He was trying to tell me that Mitch Trubisky is a better quarterback than Justin Fields this season. And I'm like, all right. And he's like, we don't need Justin Fields. We got Najee Harris. And I'm like, yeah, Najee Harris wishes that he could run for 4 yards a carry. I mean, what's Justin up at, like 7? I said, we have a better quarterback and a better running back all in one player, compared to Kenny Pickett and Najee Harris. But that's what it is. It's just, it's hate from fans because they don't have them.
It's just hate. What I hate, it's Christmas Eve and we have to wrap up. When haters are going to hate, they're just going to hate. And that's what makes this network great. It's because me and Shane could debate with passion on our sides.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't debate is whether or not the Bears were tanking today. Clearly, whether you like it or not, the story is starting from the halfway point this season. The Bears are on a losing streak. The Bears have one thing in their pocket, and that's number 1, Justin Fields. Now they have the questions. What are they going to do with the draft? Are they going to re-sign David Montgomery? How are they going to handle Darnell Mooney coming off an injury? All of these questions. What are your thoughts on Cole Kmet? Him and his jump squad. Every time he jumps to catch the ball. There's
Pettis
a lot.
Pettis is jumping every time.
I'm like, just fucking catch the goddamn ball. They don't get N'Keal Harry involved. Again, questions.
He almost looked like he got nicked up again today. He got hit that one time and he grabbed his back instantly and then ran right off the field. I mean, that's been the number one issue with Harry in New England is he just consistently nicked up, go out and make a play, get nicked up, miss the
We
next
didn't
4
see
weeks.
Leatherwood today. I was hoping we would. Again, you guys know about the Dieter. He got on there. I'll be breaking down that tape, all of us getting ready. But really, ultimately, at the end of the day, enjoy your holiday. The Bears are who we thought they were.
Right.
And that's
the Christmas season. I'm not calling anybody's mother. I want to say happy holidays to your mothers out there.
Hey, too bad Cole couldn't get 100 yards, right?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, right. Oh, boy.
We'll be back next Wednesday breaking down the Bears and keeping it 100. In fact, I don't think we have a guest. Shapiro's on after the new year.
No, it is, and it's going to be interesting. You talk about questions heading into the offseason. Will Alan Bratcher show up, or is he going to be back to the 22-hour workday? These questions need to be answered.
22-hour workdays.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Anyway, Merry Christmas to all of you guys. I can guarantee there's going to be a lot more debates of what the Bears should do. There'll be a lot of tape analysis of the college game and breaking it all down. Sign up, become a patron today. TheTapeNeverLies.com. I will put my mouth where the money is and say you're not going to get better coverage of the offseason and the draft via focused on the Chicago Bears than you will at TTNL. Also, TTNL swag shop is open. You want to get those last minute gifts? Although we got to talk to Acevedo. Acevedo is the Cole Kmet on a screen of delivering. Jim Larson said, we got to talk to that Acevedo. We ordered swag 4 weeks ago. We still haven't gotten it. So, Alex, I know you're in the chat, putting you on Front Street. Get on those guys because people want their TTNL swag. Go to www.ttnlswag.com and get yourself some swag and use the promo code for 20% off. The promo code TTNL20. TTNL20. Thank you all. Guys, you guys in the chat, smash the like button. Pepe Sylvia and Vito Faiello, Robert Cook.
Give me some fucking names. Give this kid.
Alicia, all of you guys, I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a safe holiday season, no matter what. Are you celebrating Festivus? Are you putting your tongue on the pole with Ivan tonight in his pink pajamas?
Hello.
What kind of pole is that?
Is that thing got a zipper or a Velcro patch?
Taking a piss is quite an adventure.
Is there little rabbit pellets in the back end of that thing? Or there's no.
I'm not talking about that. But taking a piss is quite an adventure. We'll say that.
Yeah.
My father wanted me to wish you both a Merry Christmas.
Love you, Coach.
All
Love
of
you,
the
Coach.
Fans. He told me to make sure I said it. He didn't even want to watch New England today. He's like, I'm gonna watch it, and I'm getting out of here to
You would have loved that play to Jacoby Myers. That would have jacked him up.
See it.
Oh yeah,
It
Mac Jones threw a deep ball and it got tipped in the end zone, and Jacoby just happened to be streaking right into the end zone and caught it and took it right into the touchdown. Yeah.
Did they win?
I don't know. I can look real quick.
I think they lost. Anyway.
Yeah, I think they did.
Merry Christmas to all.
They lost 22-18.
And to all a good night. We'll see you.
Oh, look,
guys.
the Bears just hired the Manning brothers. Lushy Luss, whatever. Fuck, Merry Christmas, bro. Good call. You're all over it.
See you next time.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Bye, guys. Merry Christmas. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you for watching Bears Hour Live, the best post-Bears game show on the planet, on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Hey.